Hey guys, what's going on? Another beautiful day. It's nice and sunny. The sun has actually been out since 6 a.m. I've been sitting on top of the roof and finishing the project here, but it's been amazing. What a beautiful day. Hopefully everybody's doing good. In addition, this solar shower supposed to actually reach like 100 degrees within like about 2 hours. Finally, I can get some a hot shower going on. Took out the kayak for a test, but still there is some minor leakage on this one. So we got it patched up again, and hopefully we can take it out next couple hours or possibly tomorrow. Beautiful weather, very hot, roughly about 25 degrees, which is pretty awesome. For today's topic, I'm actually going to share something never really spoke about with anyone. This is going to be my secret how to stay lean all year long, roughly about 6.5% body fat, and how to maintain that with the proper eating habits and certain workouts I'll share with you. Check it out. Finally, we get a chance to get some wild salmon, and we're actually eating it raw today because the quality on it looked amazing, and I couldn't cook this beautiful coloration. Check it out. Here are a few steps for you to follow to stay lean all year long. It's very simple, and here it goes. So when it comes down to eating, what I've done is I keep it as simple as possible. You've probably seen in my previous videos, and the way I've done it is my initial meal would be either any type of meat or could be eggs, and I keep it between roughly between 400 to about 600 grams for total weight, and it could be anything: fish, pork, beef, some imported cheese, etc. And that's my initial meal. I don't really check the ratios of fat to protein, nor I do any of that stuff. I've done it before, I've tried it before. It was becoming confusing and overwhelming, and you're always kind of worrying about, am I eating too much, am I eating too little? So I kind of left that on the side, and whatever fat is in that meal, that's the fat I will actually be satisfied with. So that's my first meal, and jumping to my second meal, which is last meal of the day. And usually there's about a 6 hour to about a 8 hour time frame in between. And my last meal would also be, again, very low carb to zero carb. It's still gonna be about 500 to about 600 grams of meat. Mostly it's gonna be wild salmon. I try to eat it raw once in a while if it's good quality, or I might have to cook it based where it's coming from. And if I don't feel that I'm that satisfied from that fish, I would possibly throw in 2 additional eggs, or I would possibly have a piece of blue cheese, and that's about it. So that's my daily routine, almost about 6 days a week, where I go zero carbs and no usable carbs, no fiber carbs, none of that stuff. And once a week, what I do is a carb load. Now this carb load is very important, because that's how it actually jumpstart your weight loss again, and that's how you actually refuel your glycogen levels for the whole week. So therefore you have enough strength, enough energy, and you maintain your overall health as well too. So on that evening, which has always been a Friday, I would actually consume anywhere up to 600 to 700 grams of carbohydrates on the last meal of the day, with zero protein and zero fat. So my first meal would be regular 400 to 500 grams of meat. My last meal of the day would be just completely simple carbohydrates. Could range anywhere from being white rice to rice pudding to sweet potato, some dextrose, so on and so forth. I kind of mix it all up, and just so I can actually get close to a good range of 700 grams of carbohydrates, and that's about it. Then the next day I'm back to my regular routine, which I mentioned it'll be just strictly meat and fish and zero carbs again. And that's how I kept my body fat at 6.5%. I've been strictly at that rate for almost 4.5 years. Yes, over the years I've tested a lot of different food varieties, a lot of different fats, so on and so forth, but none of them kind of kept me at that level. So when it comes down to training, now with my training, it's always been a resistant training. It's always been roughly about 45 minutes to an hour. And what I do is every set I hit failure, no matter what. Every set I hit failure. This way I'm exhausting my muscle, exhausting my body, and that's how I actually continue depleting the glycogen levels. And what I want to see is by fourth day or fifth day, I kind of my recovery has dropped, just because that's when I know I'm totally out of glycogen storage. And that's when I actually take my 2 days off of training, and on my seventh day I reload on carbohydrates. And with the training, for anybody who's starting out, it's better to stick with a lot of compound training, because what I mean by compound training, you're actually moving two muscle groups at a time. So it could be squats, could be deadlift, bench press, pull-ups, overhead press. These are your main exercises that you should practice and stay consistent at for at least 6 months to a year before you start jumping into small muscle groups. Just so you can get to the size you want, to the muscle growth you want, then you can actually change after. So we've talked about the food intake, we've talked about the exercises, how it's done, and the last thing I'll talk about is the supplements. Now, supplements are a must, because every person will utilize their food differently, but there are certain supplements that will definitely kickstart or actually help along the way with the muscle growth. So you have your major supplements are creatine, leucine, and D-ribose. Now, whey protein, I don't really talk about it much, just because we tend to consume quite a bit of protein with our daily diet. But if you don't, and you fall into the vegan category, then definitely adding some isolate whey will benefit you dramatically. So how to use supplements? If you're looking to put on a good amount of muscle mass, so for example, if you're 150 pounds and your goal is to be 170 pounds, that's a 20-pound difference. Eat as much as a 170-pound person would eat. So when I mention protein, could be anywhere between 0.7 grams to about 0.9 grams. Sometimes you can go as high as 1 gram per 1 pound of body weight based on your activity level. So eat towards a 170-pound person. Second is your supplements should be all consumed after your training. So as soon as you're done your training, you're gonna have half a cup of water. You're gonna mix up about 5 to 10 grams of creatine, 5 grams of leucine, 5 grams of D-ribose and about 10 grams of whey isolate, or you can go 10 grams of collagen protein if you like. This is a must so you can actually recover and get your muscles on the proper growth. Now, additional to that, you can actually add 20 grams, up to 20 grams of dextrose. Now, dextrose is pure glucose, and what happens is that 20 grams will actually help you recover from that specific workout you just finished. And upon waking up the next day, the first thing you do is with your coffee, add 5 grams of whey isolate. So therefore you continue the process of weight loss, but therefore you maintain the muscle growth, because what happens is your cortisol level is at the highest peak when you wake up, and it's catabolic. It's catabolic for muscle and it's catabolic for fat. So by adding that 5 grams of whey isolate, or let's say you can definitely do collagen. What happens is it will actually prevent any muscle breakdown, and that's how you're able to maintain your muscle mass. So doing this year after year, I've been doing it for many years. I've worked amazing for myself and for a few of my audience, and I still maintain it at a 6.5% body fat. I don't go up nor I drop. I keep it very, very accurate as well too. Hey guys, if you have any questions in regards to my video, please comment down below and I'll do my best to answer them as fast as possible. If you actually like to see specific videos on specific things, whether working out, weight loss, specific food intake, or specific recipes, please go ahead and jot them down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to actually keep you up to date with a lot of the new future videos coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.